podcast is brought to you by Substack. Go to substack.tristanjmiller.com for early access to this podcast as well as film reviews from me, Tristan Miller.
And now, our feature presentation.
So there we go. We'll see how this goes. I'm using, again, the AirPods for the first time. Let's hope they don't crap out halfway through. All right. Sorry, I'm just making a couple little adjustments here.
Oh yeah, is this one of those things where I don't talk until you introduce me?
No, you can do whatever you want.
I feel like I always mess that up.
I am going to do a little introduction, but it's not of big enough consequence. It goes something like this, which is, hello everybody, welcome to Focus Testing, a podcast about movies where we make a movie. My name is Tristan Miller, and joining me today is a very funny Myles Hewette, the wickedly talented.
And I'm Myles Hewette. I've been wanting to say that the entire time.
You've been just sitting on it. We haven't spoken at all in the Zoom call. You've just been vibrating.
I'm just waiting to get my timing when I get to say, and I'm Myles Hewette. And
is this how you go into like the Starbucks and you're just hi, and I'm Myles Hewette, featuring
no, I only want an and credit. I insist on it. I'm like I'm like Christopher Walken. I'm like and Christopher Walken.
Yeah, for sure. Is that the only way in which you are like Christopher Walken?
Yeah, pretty much. That is the one way that I'm like Christopher Walken, except that I too am a master of impressions. But
fun.
Yeah. No,
For those of you who are only listening, number one, shame on you. Number two, Myles's eyes rolled fully back into his skull.
Wow, I pulled something. I think that was.
So I like to start off every one of these episodes the same way, by saying thank Jesus for all that is good. No,
I was gonna say,
I like to start off the same way, which is, do you remember? I always phrase this poorly. What is the first movie you remember seeing in the cinema?
So the first movie I remember seeing at the cinema.
Yeah, at the cinema in a theater.
Yes. One is at the cinema in the theater. First film I remember.
I'm sorry, you just said a phrase like it was a stock phrase, as if everyone knew. What is the etymology on one? It is at cinema. One is in the theater.
You're at the cinema. You're in the theater.
Oh, right, because they're different. Each screen is a theater.
Right. It's a whole. I don't know. Is that not a thing? Why do I feel like that's a thing? I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. You
up.
Probably had a different upbringing than me. That's probably why.
Did I just make up another amazing phrase? I gotta stop doing that. Okay.
I like the idea of it though. What is at like? Right. It sounds like something Stephen Fry would say.
Yeah, it feels very like I'm probably just thinking of like a grammar textbook that I read once. Lion King. To answer your question, The Lion King.
The Lion King.
Yeah, I think so. I remember my dad taking me and my brother, and he would like take us to the movies like once a year. We got to go to the movies with just dad, and it was awesome. And I'm pretty sure The Lion King was the first one. What year was that? That was like 95.
Let me do a quick little Google here.
Yeah, if only there was a device. But
yeah,
it was 94, so I was probably like 7 years old because I was born in 1987.
94. 94, very good.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I definitely remember being like 7 years old. So yeah, The Lion King, great movie to see with your dad.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. It's not like
Yep, a great father and son trip to the movies. Yeah,
I mean, you're not wrong, but in a way you are. And
now that this is coming up, I'm realizing that's probably how I learned my dad was going to die someday. Man, that was a big day for me.
That is a big day for you.
Wow. Anyway, thank you for your lighthearted question.
Yeah, you're welcome. I learned my dad was going to die someday when he fell off a ladder and had to go to the ER. And I was like, damn, it truly be that way, huh?
Yeah, shit. Yeah, dads can fall too. It sucks.
Yeah, gravity applies to everybody.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's insane. I don't care for it.
No, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
So you are also a writer, and specifically you
Yes.
do some screenwriting, yes, as
Yeah.
well as sketch and
I
stuff. How did that
yeah.
happen?
Well, it's I was doing a sketch for ages. I
Mm-hmm.
started a long time ago. When was I did it
Okay.
for like years and years. I remember getting like a UCB Sketch 101 thing as like a present, and so I like went and took the Sketch 101 class and did and it was fine. And then after
It
that,
was fine.
it was fine. I mean, it's fine. It's a class about being funny. Those things are always a little eh, especially
Bit
a
suspect.
101 because
Yeah.
it's 101. So like half of like I remember distinctly this one guy being like, and hey, this doesn't work out. I'm the manager at Foot Locker. And I remember being like, oh, all right, cool.
You and I are going in with completely different
Awesome.
goals.
Yeah. That's that's neat. So who was your favorite classic Simpsons writer? uh anyway, he after 101 though, I was like, okay, cool. So now I have like the shared vocabulary. I can do this with other people and wound up in a sketch group. I was in Clip Show for ages.
Mm.
Uh and we did like Creek in the Cave and then we did the Striker at the Pit for every month and that was insane and super fun. And then uh from that, then I created another show called Infinite Sketch, my buddy Sam Bourne, and like then it was like because I was like, I'm just gonna write a bunch of weird shit. And I did a bunch of like it was a very fun show. It was based on David Foster Wallace, making fun of
Mhm.
David Foster Wallace, but also it was super meta and it was went way out there. And then I got on a UCB mod team, which is a huge
Mm.
like that's like a big deal to me and other people who have taken Sketch 101 at UCB. Um,
That's a big
uh,
deal for me personally.
me personally. Um, but all this to say, like at this point, I'm on mod teams and I'm writing like two different sketch shows, which is a lot of writing to do. Um, and I'm doing it a lot and also working. And then the pandemic happened,
Mm.
and so everything like shut down, including the UCB theater. So uh, that's gone. And I was like, well, shit, I don't want to like go start another sketch group in the pandemic and have to like do like I know how to run OBS because I was doing it.
Sure, 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 sure.
Like, but like I don't want to do that. So I was like, what can I do to keep writing? Because the second you stop, you never want to do it again. Um, and I was like, I guess I'll just start writing like more, uh, like
Sure.
more pages because the sketch is like 4 or 5 pages tops.
Hmm.
And so for all that writing I was doing, I was just writing a bunch of 4 to 5 page little, fun yuck 'em ups, and then they're boop, gone. On to
Yuck
the
'em
next
ups.
thing. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I've started getting more into like writing longer, you know, 3 acts, like
Oh my God.
like I'm
Three
having a lot
whole
of fun
acts.
writing comedy pilots right now, just writing them and throwing them out into the world to see what
Hmm.
happens, which is cool. And
Yeah.
it's interesting. I'm into it.
I well, it sounds fun, and it sounds that makes
No,
it
it's not.
very.
It's not fun at all. Tristan, no, it's horrible.
I've written comedy stuff before. When it hits and you feel good about it, it's
Yeah.
good. But then when
Yeah.
you're like reading it back and you're like, oh, does this any of this work? I'll
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
That's the scariest thing about like I feel like. Did you ever do stand up at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. Oh yeah. No.
Because
There's
like
videos of me.
okay, I've yet to see them. Please send them
It's
to
fine.
me, and I
It's
will
fine.
do a best of
No, please.
compilation.
It'll be short.
Is that a good way to very self-effacing there. Is
Yeah.
that a good way to like get traction? Is to make your own best of clip compilation on YouTube under like a pseudonym?
Oh my God, that's such a good idea.
Yeah,
Fuck.
like marketing wise,
Yeah,
like
no. Oh shit. Yeah, like 9 years ago when I was doing stand up, I probably would have been like, "Oh my God, he's a genius. I should totally do this." That's what was going wrong. I didn't have
yeah.
enough best of compilation. Wait till they
Uh,
hear that one about my cat.
Oh my God.
Uh,
But I once read someone try to convince someone else
mhm.
that Shakespeare, in fact, meant to write in 3 acts as opposed to five because they were so bound to the 3 act structure of a
uh,
screenplay. They're like, oh, no, 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 no. I think what Shakespeare meant to do,
right. No.
which is an insane ask, absolutely unbelievable, just a
Yeah.
huge swing.
Okay.
Um,
I
like,
mean,
have you ever thought about doing like enough sketches in a row to like pad
uh,
out 90 minutes?
oh, that's
Like,
that's just what I do. I mean,
okay,
that's
sure, sure,
literally.
sure, sure, sure. But I mean, like, in terms of
No,
like,
that is
in
kind of like conceptually how I like got started on it because like
mm,
that's a big project to go from like writing a 4 page thing to being like, oh, I'm gonna write like a screenplay.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, and so then I was like, oh, well, I can write a 30-minute comedy pilot. That's just like what, 7 sketches? No
yep.
problem. Done. And that's but it's really like I have enough sketches written. I could just string them all together and probably have some kind of through line. There
Yeah.
are weird through lines in sketches you see when you like go back and read old things and be like, oh yeah,
Mm.
there was like that 6 month period where every sketch somebody took off a pair of sunglasses to reveal another smaller pair of sunglasses.
Sure, sure, yeah, absolutely.
You
There's
know,
always like you look. I think that's pretty common regarding like any sort of art where you look back and you're like, oh, I was really going through this specific thing, wasn't I?
yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah.
Um,
It's it's only a problem if it's like super topical, though, I think. Because it's
yes.
fun. You just bring it back, you know. Guess how many sunglasses get taken off in the script I'm writing right
I'm gonna guess four, and two of them are smaller.
now. You're exactly correct.
And there it is.
Fuck. Okay. I guess I gotta edit this. I gotta be
Yeah,
more unpredictable.
you gotta really subvert my expectations. Ryan
Ah,
Johnson it up. So first
yeah.
question,
Yes. Hello.
um, is what is
Mhm.
movie? What is movie?
What? Well, Tristan, I suppose that's what we're all asking ourselves. What is movie?
What is
Movie
movie?
is movie is what uh movie is an idiomatic phrase, probably from the early 20th century, because when Thomas Edison invented the kinetoscope, or probably stole the idea for the kinetoscope from
Sure,
somebody
sure,
else,
famously.
yeah, uh, people referred to them as the moving pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that, it was shortened through the wonders of linguistic, you know, hullabaloo into movies. Instead of saying moving pictures, we're going to the moving pictures. It became we're going to the movies, ma. See, they
Mm-hmm.
had more time then to say ma, uh, which was important to them at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, so that is movie. Movie is short for moving picture.
Okay. Okay. I
Yes.
like that. I've always akined it similar to like the talkies.
Oh
You got the
yeah,
talkies and the
right.
movies.
Exactly. The
Um,
movies were the first talkies, really, and talkies were movies.
it's like a square and a rectangle thing.
Yes, not all movies are talkies, all talkies are. Yes,
Exactly. Um,
and they're both
next
rectangles.
question
Yes.
is what book
Mhm.
should never be turned into a film? Not even a
uh,
little bit.
Jurassic Park. Have you read that book? It's insane. It would never work as a movie. It's got like 5 chapters about fractals. Like, yeah, we get it, Miles Crichton. You went to college. You
Oh
want to
my
talk
God.
about fractals. Do what we all do and do mushrooms and go with your friends to the woods. Don't write a book about dinosaurs and pretend like you have any other purpose than just droning on and on about chaos theory.
Mm.
It would never work. It'd be impossible to make that book into a movie.
How would they even make the dinosaurs is the thing.
Exactly. I mean, they would look so fake. There's
Yeah.
no, and even if they looked okay when they made it, in like 10 years, they'll look like shit.
Yeah, it's
You
no
know?
way that it would hold
Yeah.
up for decades despite technology advancing.
No, that's insane. That's a crazy
Yeah.
thing to say. Uh,
Okay. Perfect. Correct answer.
wait, what's that? They did what? Okay.
There's 6 of them now?
Dominion?
Okay.
Uh,
I'm interested to hear your opinion on this next one, which is
Okay.
what director is the best actor? Because I have opinions of my own, but I want to know yours.
What director is
Is
the
the best
best actor?
actor? Yeah, out of all the directors you can think of.
Oh, okay. Oh, Kevin Smith,
Hmm.
100%. Because he plays Silent Bob. Kevin Smith shutting the fuck up for the entire movie. Oh
Very
my God.
hard.
He's an amazing actor. I can't believe that. It's
Oh my
impossible.
God, that's a very good response.
You can tell
Big fan.
he goes to another place.
He does. He
A place
does.
where he doesn't fucking talk.
Which is
Oh,
again huge stretch for the man.
it's a big deal for him.
It's a big
Yeah,
deal.
man. Anyway, yeah, big
Very
fan.
good answer. Very good answer. Um, this one might be a little controversial.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Are
Try
Marvel
so hard.
movies
Okay.
theme parks?
Are Marvel movies
Theme
theme
park
parks?
rides.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I generally try to steer clear of controversy.
Mm.
Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that Marvel movies are movies. Theme parks are like Six Flags. Uh,
Yes.
so they're completely different things.
Okay.
If you're talking like metaphorically,
Mm-hmm.
the Marvel movies, yeah, I mean they're not high art, I don't think. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think high art tends to be less fun a lot of the times, you know?
Mm.
Nobody ever like stands and applauds in the middle of the ballet, you know? Like when when
No, hold on. They don't stand, but they do applaud.
well, okay, yes, they applaud, but do they go like oh shit,
They don't go.
it's the fucking Rat King. Oh damn, dude, the Rat King's here. Woo! I fucking knew it. I knew Rat King. I've had so many great experiences seeing Marvel movies in the theaters just from like the other people. There's always the one guy like, oh man, it's Captain America, like reveals himself. And the one guy goes, I knew it.
It's like
My
he's in the
favorite thing
title.
to yell. Yeah, it's like the movie's called Captain America and the Winter Soldier, man.
When did you? Yeah,
Yeah,
which?
it's
Oh,
just it's great. It's a fun time. Great for the whole family, just like a theme park. Uh,
mm-hmm.
and there are Marvel rides at Six Flags, guys. Go to Six Flags.
I've never been to a Six Flags.
You know what? I'm thinking of DC. I'm thinking of Superman.
I was gonna say
Yep,
because Disney does own. There are definitely Marvel rides at Disneyland and Disney
Disneyland.
World.
Yeah, I
Um,
forgot about that.
Here's a quick joke for you. This is a Rodney Dangerfield style joke. Is I
Oh
grew up
boy.
and
Okay.
I have never been to Six Flags. We're so poor we only went to Two Flags. There it is.
Hey. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Hey.
well.
Yep. So if you
That's a good
had,
joke. That's a good
thank
joke.
you.
I hope you don't expect any respect though, 'cause
No, I don't. I couldn't. This is a quick impression. This is Kevin Kline as Rodney Dangerfield in a biopic. I don't get any respect at all. Um,
that was very good.
Thank you very much.
That's
Following question. If you
fantastic.
had to kiss a Star Wars character on the mouth twice a day for the rest of your life, which Star Wars character, which Star Wars alien, I'm so sorry, would it be? Because it can't be just like, oh, I'm kissing Natalie Portman for the rest of my life. That's too easy.
I was going to say
Yeah.
Natalie Portman. Okay.
No, it's an alien.
I
It's got
mean,
to be
but
an alien.
she's from Naboo, her character, you
Yeah, but
know.
she's a human.
I mean, she's
They're called
humanoid.
humans in Star Wars. I don't know what to tell you. Don't step to me on
All
this.
right, all right, all right. Okay. Ooh, any character. This could be a
Any Star
lot.
Wars alien, yeah. You licking your lips is
Do you like
very
that?
like
That was just for the.
mm-hmm,
I'm thinking hard about it. I'm
mm-hmm.
considering a lot of things. There's a lot that
I
goes
was
into
very
this
Jabba the
decision,
Hutt.
you know?
Yeah.
There's that Twi'lek dancer gal.
Yeah.
She's
Ooh,
got a pair of getaway sticks on her,
yeah.
but the Twi'leks have very sharp teeth.
They do.
You
Well,
know?
the boys do.
Are
The girls don't.
what's the tongue situation here on this kiss? What are the parameters of the kiss? What are we
Oh,
doing?
every
Is it
morning,
every morning?
every night.
Okay.
Good morning,
Morning.
good night.
Okay.
A little tongue, but not so much as to get horny.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay. So like somebody that I want to kiss before I leave for the day and somebody I want to
Mm-hmm.
kiss after a
Mm-hmm.
long day at the office.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I I think I'm going Jabba the Hutt.
You are going with Jabba the Hutt.
I'm going Jabba the Hutt, and here's why. Uh, I feel like
You're nasty.
since there's no t well, I mean, first I'm a fucking freak, baby.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I
B
think we all picked up on that.
B two. Uh, Jabba's got so much tongue,
Oh
going
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
there that the no tongue involved factor sort of I was like, oh, okay, so he'll be making an effort not to like get all tonguey on me.
Mm-mm.
Fantastic. Uh, the the body mass of Jabba the Hutt and sort of his whole lack of arms and legs. He has arms, right?
He
The
has
Hutts have
arms.
arms, yeah,
They have like
but
little arms.
they're not particularly swift or quick. So if I give him the old all right, see you later, I'm gone,
Mm-hmm.
and can't follow me to like, oh, wait, you have to do stuff, or like we were gonna talk about this thing. I'm like, I'm not here for it, Jabba the Hutt. I just was here to fulfill my contractual obligation. Mwah, mwah. I love you. Be good. Be safe. Bye
Los
bye.
Coloma, come back.
That's what I said. Anyway, see you tonight for your kiss.
That's very
Bye-bye.
good.
Yeah,
You want to pick someone to kiss that cannot outrun you.
that can't
Understandable.
outrun somebody who won't make me then be friends with them. Because I got friends, Jabba
Mm-mm.
the Hutt. I don't need more friends. And also the language barrier will help with that too. Like, what could we
Mm-mm.
possibly have in common? We'll never know. I'm not going to learn Huttese. He's proven time and time again he
He
will
re-
not learn the common tongue.
he refuses to learn basic. He will not do it.
Refuses to learn basic. Thank you. That's what it's called in
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Other Huts can.
Yeah, and
He just
do.
refuses.
He's.
So
I'm gonna say it. Jabba the Hutt seems like a jerk.
he does
I know
seem
I
like a
try to
jerk.
steer clear of controversy, but I'm out here. I'm saying it.
He does seem like
Yeah.
he might be a misogynist too. Might be bad
Oh,
politically.
oh yeah. Oh, the optics on Slave Leia. Come on,
Bad.
Jabba.
Yeah.
No, Jabba, baby. No, what are
No.
you doing?
Ugh.
Jabba the Hutt's agent. Jabba the Hutt's agent. There's a
You
skip.
know, listen. We can downplay the rancor thing, but the thing is, there's nothing worse than when white women get trapped in something because all the other white women flock to that cause, and then it's a whole stink.
Jabba, I'm just saying. Unchain her. Let her be in the. Just don't chain her to your chair, man. Come on. You got to work with me here, baby.
In my mind, it's Justin Trudeau's character from Mulholland Drive.
And I was doing the guy from Die Hard.
Perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hans, baby.
What? Okay, so I have two horny questions, and I'm trying to pick which one to ask you.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you the one I came up with today, which is
Okay.
who is more fuckable,
Okay.
Gollum
Okay.
or Smeagol?
Smeagol.
Yeah,
Smeagol. Smeagol.
100%. You
Smeagol.
like a nice
100%.
guy?
Yeah, he seems nice. He seems like he'd, make me breakfast.
Yeah, probably.
Spooning whichever direction, however we want to do it. Smeagol seems like a spooner. Gollum, no, the years under the Misty Mountains have ravaged his
Oh,
ability to spoon. Also, yeah, he's well, go ahead.
now I must clarify something.
Uh-oh.
It's at the same time point. They look exactly the same. It's just the personality. Who would you rather fuck? Personality
Oh,
wise.
personality
Because they are
wise.
the same in the same vessel. Yes.
Okay, wait. So now I'm supposed to decide on fuckability based on their personality?
I know, it's a big ask.
Smeagol still.
Still, okay.
Still. Even though I bet Gollum's fucking Gollum's crazy.
Famously, yes.
Famously crazy. True. But
Yeah.
I feel like Smeagol seems like he'd be a very caring lover, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
Smeagol's
Was it good
pre
for you? Yeah, that sort
that's
of thing.
very
Yeah.
good. Yeah, exactly. Give
Yeah.
it to me, my love. That's literally
Yeah.
Smeagol's
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Very horny energy from Andy
very
Serkis
oh
in
my
that
gosh.
flashback.
Smeagol and Deagle, their whole thing, it's
Like,
glossed over in the movie, but if you really read the appendices of Return of the King,
hmm
the Smeagol
cousins in
Deagle
quotes.
action. Oh yeah, cousins. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, in
Like the
quotes, in the same
Roosevelts.
way Mary and Pippin are cousins,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and
and Frodo and Mary are cousins.
they're
Everyone's
all
cousins except for Sam.
yeah, I know. Well, because he's a disgusting Gamgee.
Yeah, yeah, he's a less
Yeah.
than. He's of
He's a
a
less
lower
than. He's
caste.
a lower caste. Exact. It's Victorian England times. There's,
Yeah, what
you
can you
know,
do?
some people are Underhills, some people are Bagginses, and one guy's a Gamgee.
One guy's a Gamgee.
Yeah.
I have two more questions for you, which is
Perfect.
first one is who was your first character crush when you watched a movie and you're like, ooh, this.
Oh, Natalie Portman in
And
Star
Attack of
Wars.
the
I mean, so Natalie Portman in Star Wars in second one.
yeah,
Um,
Attack of the Clones.
yeah,
When she
that's the that is I remember like skipping school to see that movie in the theater and definitely being like, oh wow, Natalie Portman is making me horny. Uh, I talked exactly like that too.
yeah, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Um, that absolutely. She was the second person because
Mm,
like I had a big
mm.
mm.
Oh fuck, I'm so sorry. No, I completely lied. I
Okay.
completely lied. I was just thinking of Natalie Portman from earlier. Veronica Vaughn, what's her face? Billy Madison, the teacher. I don't even remember the actress's name. I just think of her as Veronica Vaughn.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
I've never seen that film.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Well, Tristan,
Vaughn.
you really should. It's fantastic. It's stupid. It's a stupid movie. It's Adam Sandler making funny sounds. For a solid 90 minutes, it's the
Ugh,
perfect film. It's so good. Go and see
noted.
it. Some of the funniest and smartest jokes also are in that movie. The whole if there's any attempt to cheat, especially with my wife, who's a dirty, dirty tramp,
Oh my
I am
God.
just gonna snap. And then from then on in the academic decathlon, there are all these little references to like the principal's wife is a dirty tramp. But
That's
Veronica Vaughn is the name of his fourth grade teacher in the
mm,
movie. And my God, my my
yeah.
goodness.
I looked
Oof.
her up. Very cute lady
Yeah.
by the name of Bridget Wilson.
Bridget Wilson. How could I have forgotten that name?
hmm Very distinctive. Bridget
Oh yeah. You got your
Wilson.
Bridget and Wilson, the two most memorable names in the world.
Absolutely. And closing it out, as always, I
Mhm.
ask, why is Austin Powers so sexy?
Oh, his mojo.
Yeah,
It's the whole plot of the second movie.
that's true. Yes.
It's it's his mojo, baby. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You
Succinct.
can't explain it. It's the spirit of the swinging '60s.
It's the spirit of this way. So in now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're
Yeah.
positing that within the soul of Austin Powers is
Mhm.
contained therein the entire spirit of the free love
Yes.
movement.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Specifically the British uh,
Mm.
side of things, the London
Where
edge.
they didn't care so much about whether or not your teeth were straight, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were too busy dropping acid and fucking in gardens. That's
That does sound like pretty good though, is the
it sounds
thing.
it's amazing. It's I love how like the Beatles things whenever you see like them doing interviews or like their friends doing interviews and like yeah no we were doing acid and sitting in Eric Clapton's garden watching the sun come up and that's why we wrote Here Comes the Sun. And then it's like oh we wrote I Am the Eggman because we were sitting in Ringo Starr's garden
And
and
we were looking
watching
at
the
some
sun come
eggs.
up. Yes, and
Yeah.
there were some eggs. Somebody came in and said, "Do you want some eggs?"
Very good.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the main
Oh,
course?
there's more. Great. Let's do it. Yes.
Yes, this is the part where we improvise a film.
Mhm.
All right.
Perfect.
The word of today is disc.
Ooh.
D-I-S-K. Disc.
Well,
Yeah,
that
not
threw
with a
me for a
C.
loop.
Yeah, I
Just
don't
with a
know.
K. Is there a
The K.
difference?
I don't think so.
Am
I
I
think
allowed to Google the word?
yeah, you can Google the
Oh,
word
okay.
disc. It's not a spelling bee, even though I did spell it out as
Okay.
if
Yeah. A flat, thin, round object or a shape or surface that is round and flat in appearance.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
So where my mind goes to, let me know if you
Mhm.
want to pick up on this thread. If
Yep.
not, no worries, we can find
Mhm.
something else. Is flat earthers is where, I guess Discworld kind of covered that a bit. I'm assuming based
Mhm.
off of the name, I've never seen nor read it.
Mhm.
However, flat Earth is where my mind goes.
Okay. So what if it's called Disc?
Okay.
Uh, it's a sci-fi movie.
Okay.
I'm just imagining the text looking kind of like Dune,
Dune, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Disc. And the premise of the film is that maybe it's not sci-fi necessarily, but the premise is that the flat earthers were right. The world
So
actually
it's a
is flat.
documentary, is what you mean to say.
Uh,
It's because clearly they are correct because the world is
oh
flat. I don't
boy.
know what to,
Oh
yeah.
boy. Oh no. Maybe we should pick a different word. What's the I would love if the next word's like pomegranate. Well, you know what that makes me think of? The fact that the earth is
Earth
flat.
is flat. Unlike a pomegranate, which is
Unlike,
round.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Um,
stick with this.
yes, I like disc. I like disc dat, and the other thing I like the idea of it being correct. So it's like what genre are we going for? Is it continuing
So,
to be a
oh,
sci-fi?
it could be like an action adventure thing, like a
Mm-hmm.
hero's journey, a golden fleece story where it's like I
Oh,
got to
fun.
get this thing. Um, but the only problem is it's on the underside of the
Mm-hmm.
earth. It's down there, and they're like, oh, you can't dig down there because if you poke a hole through to the other side of the earth,
Wind's gonna
uh
go through it.
yeah, it'll throw off the space wind. It will throw off the earth's rotation and will careen into the dome that we're in, because also we're in a dome, right? that's
Yes,
that,
clearly.
that's part of the flat earth thing, I think.
Yes. I think that's true as well. I think, depending on whether or not that's part
I
of
forgot
the.
I forgot I can never ask yes or no questions in an improv situation. The answer is always Tristan, sit down, put your head between your legs. I'll take it from here. So the
But
general of disc security says,
yeah.
no, you can't go get the special thing.
Uh-huh.
You have to get out of the dome. So now
You got to
we've got
get
to
out of the dome.
get out of the dome
Oh.
that encases the top half where we live,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you've
So you
got to
have
get to the underside of it.
okay. I like
It's more
that a
like a
lot.
snow globe.
What if when he
Hmm.
gets out of the dome,
Hmm.
he realizes, or they realize, whoever our protagonist is, they
Hmm.
realize that either okay, it's like a Truman Show thing, right? They get to the
Right,
outside and there's another dome that is a bunch of cameras. But
right,
of course, they get out of that dome and what do you
right.
see?
Hmm.
Yet another dome and several
Okay.
discs. What
So
do you
he's
think?
so it turns out that up until this point, his entire life was being filmed, like in the Truman Show, and he's
Mm-hmm.
actually uh it's suddenly it's become like Truman Show 2, Truman Harder, where like what happens when Truman leaves that soundstage, what is
Mm-hmm.
his life going to
Mm-hmm.
be like now? Everybody on Earth knows what he looks like he's going to go work in insurance.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna go
So
work at
this
the S
guy,
Mart.
so this guy, in his quest to get the, unlimited power unobtainium thing, I can't believe they call it. I can't believe
Yeah, I
they
know
actually
the
call it.
balls on James Cameron
Oh
for
my
that.
God, fucking guy. Yeah.
Oh, God, I
But
can I tell you though, I am excited for the second one.
oh my God, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be
It's gonna be
fantastic.
so much fun.
It's gonna be super fun. Speaking of
Yeah,
theme parks,
yeah,
um,
absolutely. Just a blast and a
he
half.
so he gets into this dome, and the people live in this dome, which is big, even bigger than his dome,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Hey, uh, we've been watching you. Congrats on escaping from your horrible, life as growing up in a fishbowl. Welcome to the real flat Earth. Look at our
Sure.
dome.
Yeah.
This is what the real dome looks like."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and he's like, "No, I got it." And then they realize he realizes that no, this quest that he's on to get the unobtainium, the reason he's trying to get to the underside in the first place, doesn't matter at all. It was it was just part of the storyline in that, first dome he was in. And now he can do
Okay.
whatever he wants, and he doesn't know what he wants now. This is the conflict.
Mm,
It's
mm.
it's returning inward. What does he want? Why was he so obsessed with the unobtainium? Why couldn't he just be happy living as Truman, flat Earth Truman on the Truman
Flat Earth
Show?
tournament.
Flat Earth Truman.
So I gotta clear a couple of things up here,
Oh
Miles.
no.
Now
Okay.
here's the thing. When you say is it Truman from the first Truman Show, or is it like a spiritual sequel, or is it a
Look,
direct sequel? Because
I'm gonna.
go ahead.
I think it should be a direct sequel now.
Okay.
It
Okay.
hadn't occurred to me till right then, but yes,
All right. It's a film called Disc,
it's
starring
called
Jim Carrey.
Disc,
We get him out
starring
of
Jim
retirement
Carrey.
for this one last gig.
Yes,
Because Lord knows we need to give him more money.
yes. He might have a gambling problem. I don't
So
know.
I feel like, okay,
Okay.
I feel like if we're gonna go this route, I feel as though we should like make the first 20 minutes
Hmm.
about him.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you realize the reason he's trying to get this unobtainium or whatever, let's call it unobtainium. And it's because he's like, they're like, oh, I have a sick daughter or whatever.
Yes. Okay.
And
Cool.
then the 20 he gets up to the dome and he goes, "Oh, so that was all fake. What
Hmm.
do I do? What do I do?" And he goes, "Oh, well, I have a daughter. I
Right.
actually do love my daughter. Let me
Right.
go back for her." So the
Right.
whole second act is him trying to go back into the first dome and people stopping him
Oh.
because once
Okay.
you're out, you're out. You can't go back.
Well, so is the first dome
Mm.
populated like in Truman Show one? Uh, like,
Yeah,
is it populated with actors, or are they also unaware?
I think they're also unaware
Okay.
because it's a larger scale thing
Yeah, I like
and
that. That's a good sequel too. Like,
yeah.
we can fill in the missing story was like after Truman escaped from the Truman Show, Ed Harris was like, you know what the problem was? Just
Too
one.
small. Too
Too
small.
small. Too small. It's too small. Make
It's
it
too
big.
small. Make big.
And so he's like, "Hey, Paul Giamatti, get out there and get me another dome." I
Oh,
recently watched the Truman Show. Paul Giamatti's in it.
I know it's so
Anyway,
good.
it's so good. Um, so they go and they get a bigger dome,
Mm.
and this time they're like they just straight up put out casting calls and are like, "Hey, it didn't work when we tried it with a guy just like getting born here. So like, what if you just want to live in this dome forever? And all you have to do is you're on a reality show and we watch you all the time. But like, besides that, live your fucking life, dude." And everyone's like, Paul Giamatti makes a great point. I'm in. And that's what the inner dome of Disc, which is the name of
Mm-hmm.
Big World. That's
Is the
what the
name of the
inner dome.
corporation, obviously. Yeah.
Right, Disco.
DiskCorp.
Yeah, Discord.
A little too close to Discord, which is another thing
It's
entirely,
true.
but it's spelled with a K.
What do you mean? I sent you a message in the Discord.
The
Um,
Discorp. Um, I like that. Yes.
okay, so now he's got to get back
To his
to
daughter.
his daughter
Mm-hmm.
and bring her. And he's like, "I'm gonna go get her," because she doesn't know anything about the real world,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
I think
So does she
you want to
even want to go?
I feel like there's got to be a push pull. So I
Yeah.
think she is someone that is young enough to have been born in the dome.
Right.
So
Now
this is mhm,
is Truman also Truman, I mean, our guy who's
Jim
our
Carrey.
protagonist, who's played by Jim Carrey. But is
Yeah,
he Truman from the original show?
I think so.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, well, because if it's a sequel, then otherwise, then what you would want
Right.
to do is have Jim have a cameo in the front and then just like do a
Right.
completely new cast, which also could
So
be fun.
I'm thinking
Mm,
maybe we do that because
hmm
then the protagonist he could have been born in the dome. Like
mm.
the sequel to the Truman Show was people chose to go into this dome and live, but then they also part of the catch was they couldn't tell their kids about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dome.
because
That
that's
was
the
like the
whole.
dark secret was like,
hmm
yeah. Uh
I like it. Then I think we should make the lead character a lady because Lord knows that needs to happen more.
oh, absolutely. Let's do it.
I feel like
Let's this
Florence Pugh would be good
Florence Pugh would be fantastic.
because she's very funny. She's a very funny gal.
Oh, yeah, that's true. She'd be good.
And so I like that as Jim Carrey as her dad.
Yeah, I can see
Um,
that. Yeah,
yeah, why
that
not?
works.
They're
Okay.
both of the same nose.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
just that little whoop goes whoop.
Yeah. Yeah, the
The end
wolf
goes
nose.
whoop.
Yeah.
Um,
Who's playing wait, what happened to okay. So it's Florence Pugh's daughter. Who's playing Florence Pugh's daughter?
no. I'm so sorry. No. Florence Pugh is the daughter.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's a very young woman, Miles. She's in her
Ah,
20s still.
what? Florence Pugh's like 45 years old. Is she not?
No, yeah, absolutely. You 100%.
Okay. Yeah. No, I
Um,
saw her wearing like 1800s clothes in a
and you just
movie,
assume
and I just assumed, oh, she's
here,
super old.
here's something that'll make you sick to your stomach right
Oh
now.
boy.
She's
Okay.
26 years old.
Fuck you.
Yeah. And here's the thing: did not go to acting school. Is just that
Uh,
good at it.
uh,
So annoying, right?
someone,
But she's
no,
so good though. I can't be mad.
I can be mad.
Okay, you can be mad
I'm
for the both of us.
I'm old and bitter enough at this point. I can be mad
Okay.
about it.
Yeah.
Stupid Florence Pugh.
Cute.
Come do my movie. It's called Disc. Hi, Florence. It's me,
Okay.
Miles.
Yes, hello.
Hey, Flo. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing good, aren't I? um.
Yes.
So okay. So we're kind of rerouting this thing. So it is
A little
still a
bit.
similar. So we just invert it. Flo's the main
Okay.
character. Jim
Okay.
Carrey's the one who's sick. So she's going out of the dome to get adamantium. We can keep all of that. She
Okay.
realizes, oh no. She gets there.
hmm
He's like, oh. But then it turns out that Jim Carrey's actually sick. Though is the
Oh
thing.
no. Yeah.
And so she does like. I think she goes to the heads of DiskCorp
hmm
and goes, "Hey, he's actually sick. You have to do something." And he's like, he signed a waiver, despite
Okay.
hating doing this in the first time. He still did sign a waiver, and so the rest of the movie is her trying to find the actual antidote to whatever it is.
Okay.
What do you think?
What if she, in the search for the actual antidote, uh, is running around this like outer world that she's just discovering for the first time and finds out and wait, what if she
Mm-hmm.
just finds out about like how fucked up the medical industry is in this country? It just takes place
Sure.
like the world is just like it is right now, and she's just like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean I need a prescription? I don't have a prescription. I live in the fucking dome. My
Sorry,
dad
you don't
is
have a social
sick.
security number. I can't
Yeah,
give you this.
it's like what? Yeah,
I feel
it's a
like
fighting indictment.
what would be great would
hmm
be is if okay, she goes to the hospital and she's like, I need to find this. And the person that's helping her is a doctor played by William Jackson Harper.
Okay.
Um, and then obviously he's like, well, I don't know what to tell you, this sort of thing. And then he slowly goes, oh, you're Truman's daughter. Like, I know who you are. You're very famous. Okay, so I'm going to help you out. And then obviously
Okay.
he becomes like her guide to the actual
Right.
world. And
Right.
I feel like it
Right.
has to end with a heist, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, that's so good too. Yeah, introduce what's his face? Billy
William
Jackson.
Jackson Harper of the
William
Good
Jackson
Place
Harper.
fame.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it's a nice reunited because they both had been summer.
Right. And now, and he gets to be the guy who's like, well, here, let me fill you in on all of the rules of this universe we're in. Number one, the world flat, but you knew that.
Pretty big, pretty
Yeah.
important.
I don't know why I even bother to say it, because I know that in the dome, you also know that the world is flat. But just in case, we're just going to establish the rules. The world is flat. Number two, you're from a dome. Number three, here's how you use the subway. We're going to take the subway to this big to this other dome,
To this other bigger dome.
to the medicine dome. That's the dome. That's the dome where they make medicine.
So it's just a series of domes.
Series of domes.
And then
with disc. But
that's very good.
All domes have a disc as their base.
I think at the end of the film it pulls out and it's actually the Earth. It is round, but all of these domes are on the Earth.
They're all on the Earth
because the Earth is like dead and it's barely holding together.
And it pulls back, and we see like it comes like out of the dome, and then it fills in, and it's just like this stark white, mega, giant, like half an egg shaped dome in the desert, like it's like where they like tested the nuclear bomb, and it pulls back, and it comes between two army generals, and they're like smoking cigars. And the one guy's like, boy, I sure am glad we domed up everybody on Earth who had violent tendencies, and now we live here in this paradise. The other one goes, yes, for the true monster was man.
Then it
smash to black.
Smash to black.
Title
Louis
card.
Armstrong's
Dome.
It's a Wonderful World plays over credits.
Yeah.
So I like that as an ending, but we're missing a little bit of a third act with the heist. They obviously get the medicine, but is he actually sick? Does it work? Does it not?
I think
or is that a whole reality show as well?
They get back. They're too late. They've just missed him. They've missed their chance to say goodbye, but that's okay because because luckily everything in the dome is recorded. So they watch him say goodbye to her. It says like, it's okay, I still love you, I'm sorry, I never gave you the choice that I had to choose to come back to this dome. I only wanted you to be happier than I was. She's like, oh my God, my father really did love me. Like I was mad. I was complaining earlier because he like made me grow up in this dome, but it doesn't matter where we grow up because our bond was so strong, because family can never, blah, blah, blah. You slap some sappy fucking music on there for the rubes. And then, and then they watch the video, he dies. And then they're like, oh my God, you were too late. And they're like, who are you? It's a random person. It's like, oh my God, wait, you're watching the video, you were too late, that was so sad. And they're like, what are you talking about? We've been watching you the whole time. This is the show. Oh.
Yep.
Whoa. Zoom out of the dome between the two generals.
I love living on this paradise. Can we get two actors that are clearly not American doing American accents?
Oh yeah.
Oh, can I tell you, Johnson? I love living in this paradise. There's nothing funnier. Good movie. Great movie, I think.
Great movie. Yeah. What's it called?
Disc. It should be called Dome.
It should be called Dome. Let's call it Disc.
Which is fine. But let's call it Disc.
Yeah.
Please. Dome was my father's name.
Dome was my father. Called me Disc.
Yeah. Any things we want to clear up before we move on to the lightning round? I think Danny Elfman needs to do the score.
Oh, of course. I assumed he was going to come attack.
Yeah.
But can we get Chris Columbus to direct it?
Well, no, I like a camera to move now. Is the thing.
Okay.
But yes, yeah, sure. Why not? Live a little. He's coming back. Did he do the first one?
I think he was supposed to, or he did.
Let's see. Truman Show. Looking it up.
Truman Show. I think it may. I know the writer who wrote it. Like it was it was like took him years
Oh no, it's
to get it made.
directed by Peter Weir, an
Yeah.
Australian filmmaker
Ah,
known for Dead Poet Society also.
oh,
He's got a good
I
track record with comedians and actors.
yeah, he knows what
Yeah,
he's doing.
he
Uh,
does.
he knows how to take funny people and make people cry.
Yeah,
So no, I think I'm all cleared up. I think it's perfect. Was
great.
somebody writing this down? Let's
Yeah,
go. Let's get it
it's
typed up.
this is your new project. This is what you're
This
gonna
is
do.
yeah. What am I working on? Oh, it's called Disc. It's about a bunch of domes.
It's called it's called Disc. It's out a bunch of domes. So here's the thing. I do have the random word generator up. I'm desperately
Uh-oh.
trying to take a screenshot, but forgot how to do it on my iPad.
Oh.
Um, it's not that. Anyway, so the random word generator did posit for the next prompt
Mhm.
film, which seems a bit cheap.
Ooh.
I feel as though we cannot do that, but I wanted you to know because
Uh,
I found it amusing.
yeah. And
So
so what, wait, what is the premise of the lightning?
you
Make
get
sure.
about like two
2 minutes?
sentences.
Okay.
Yeah,
Two
yeah,
sentences.
yeah. Yeah. Like, for example, I'll go
Okay.
first.
Cool.
First one is familiar.
Okay.
Okay, so it's about a wizard who has to find his little companion because he's lost in the woods because he's been kidnapped by some sort of evil force. And then there's the little guy is voiced by Jeff Bridges, and the wizard is that Canadian actor that's in How to Train Your Dragon, that whose name I can't remember.
Jay Baruchel.
Yes, that's the one.
Yep. Why did I know that? I know
I don't
why I
know.
knew that. That's a very specific. I did a Jay Baruchel impression for a sketch a couple months
Oh,
ago.
fun.
Yeah.
Fun, fun,
And
fun.
do
He's
you want
got
to
a
hear my
very
Jay
funny voice.
Baruchel impression?
Yeah, yeah, give it a little taste.
Ah,
It's not bad. Have you seen
oh, my friend is Seth Rogen.
oh no.
Oh
If
no,
you,
guys.
it's a little like if you take Bobcat Goldthwait and you take
Yeah.
Owen Wilson and you just shove them together.
Ah, yeah.
Oh
And
no.
that's oh no.
Have you seen
Okay.
LOL, which is a fun game show?
No, what is this?
It's called Last One Laughing. The Canadian
Oh,
version is hosted by Jay Baruchel, is why I bring it up.
oh.
Basically, the conceit of the program is this:
Mhm.
a bunch of comedians try to make each other laugh, but not laugh themselves, and whoever wins a bunch of money for charity.
Cool.
And
Sounds
the
great.
Canadian one has Colin Mockery and Hank Green. Not Hank Green. What's his the Freddy got fingered? What's his name?
Tom Green?
Tom Green, because Hank Green is the John Green's brother. Um, but yeah, so and a few other the guy from Kids, one of the guys from Kids in the Hall. Anyway, it's great.
Cool.
Watch it.
Yeah, that
It's very
sounds good.
funny.
I will.
Anyway,
I'll go watch it.
familiar. Over to
Okay.
you.
Oh, familiar. So this is like a Memento style psychological thriller where a guy is constantly having deja vu, being like, this all has happened
Hmm.
before. He's like, wait a minute, like, and there's a lot of like he sees a cat walk by, and then a minute later he sees another cat and can't quite remember if it was the same cat or if he's just in a place with a lot of cats, and then all of the cats are singing and dancing and competing to see which one of them gets to die and go to the Jellicle Ball, I
No.
believe is what it's called. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, it's based on a T.S. Eliot poem. I think it's going to be great.
The
I'm calling it
Wasteland.
the Waste. I call it the Straw Man.
um so here's the thing. Love it very much. I love also this idea of the guy from Memento isn't like insane or whatever. He's just very stupid.
Yeah,
Like
he's a dummy.
he's a big dumb idiot who
He
can't
doesn't learn.
remember.
He can't learn no good. He doesn't learn good.
The next
He's dumb.
one is Insure. Insure. Ensure.
Okay.
Ensure. I think Ensure is about a hospice worker who is working with a very famous actor who is going through the last stages of their life. And they're trying to let them reconnect with their family that are estranged while also fighting off like paparazzo and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's Ensure. Can you spell it again? Is it En or In?
Ian.
En.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, I know. Yeah, that's for my memory
Yeah.
too. Okay. Uh, Ensure. Okay. It's workplace comedy, like in the Mike Judge sort of vein, um, about the the ne'er-do-well slackers who work at the factory where they make Ensure like liquid breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
nutritional foods, and all the crazy hijinks they get into there. I'd find a
Mm-hmm.
writer who had worked in one for a while, and has some fun, new and innovative jokes about stuff you can do at work, things they used to do. They used to pee in the inshore, or they used to like if oh, they also serve it to order. It's like a brewery. It's like a brewery. There it is. There it is. I had
There
to
it
talk it
is.
out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. 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 For sure. For
It's
sure.
like
For sure.
it's where they so they have like a little restaurant area and people
Mm-hmm.
come in and try the new Ensure, and sometimes the customers are jerks. And then it's like the waiting, or the Slam and Salmon, or one of the other movies about working in a restaurant and all the crazy fucked up shit people do to your food,
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot.
Perfect. Which is a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
Having worked in the service industry, you don't want
Yeah.
to go to a restaurant.
No, they're gross.
Next one is elegant.
Ooh.
Elegant. Elegant. Can you use it in a sentence, Miles?
Yes, the costumes on The Gilded Age were elegant.
Can you imagine if that was like like it's a vocabulary test, but in reverse of a spelling bee?
Yeah.
Like you get the word, you get how
You
it's
get the
spelled, then
word.
you have to figure out what it
Yeah.
is.
Use it as
Bemused,
yeah.
be, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
That's great.
Elegant, I think, is a children's film. It's a
Mhm.
children's film starring Reese Darby as a boy elephant that wants to go to the ball,
Oh,
but he
hell
wants to
yeah.
go in a dress, and all of his friends make fun of him. And then the
Oh,
moral is it's okay to dress
yeah.
however you'd like as long as your
Yeah.
heart is pure.
Sure.
And of course, the comedy version is like, and then of course in the third act, everyone finds out he's a huge jerk, and he's like, well, no, the reason you can't come to the ball isn't because of the dress thing. We all just
Right.
hate your guts.
Right. That's
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic. Uh, I love that. Okay. That sounds like a good kids movie.
Thank you.
Um,
I try.
okay. Elegant. It's a um okay. So it's the Met Gala.
Mm,
Open
picturing
on.
it.
Oh, we open on New York City, the
Whip,
Metropolitan Museum of Art.
whip.
Now, New York City is a character in her own right, but this movie, and elegant to Met Ball, and then they have to. It's a heist movie. It's the sister of Danny Ocean, and
Yeah, huh?
she's gonna like
Mm-hmm.
steal like some jewels from the Met Ball, but first she's got to assemble a crew. So she goes all around, uh,
So the
just the
next word
five
is
boroughs.
reject, and that's what I'm doing to this premise.
Okay, damn.
No, that's actually a very good movie. That was the thing. Ocean's 8 is very, very good.
Yeah,
Is the thing.
yeah.
Reject or reject, however
Oh
you wish
wait,
to emphasize it.
speaking of
Yeah.
reject, I literally just I think got a rejection email.
Ooh, share,
Let
share,
me
share.
see.
Please
Unless
do.
I did. Oh no, it's advancing. All right, that's cool.
Oh,
Uh,
man, I wanted you to read a rejection
I know.
email
I'm
live.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I
Ugh.
can. I can pull up one of my rejection emails. But
No,
sweet.
you don't have to put
I
yourself
just
through
made
that
the
pace.
quarterfinals of the contest. That's cool.
Oh, that's nice. Very
Yeah.
good. Good for you. A
Yeah.
plus.
Thank you.
Well,
Anywho,
do you want to
reject.
do you want to continue with your pitch for a movie that already exists, or do you want to move on?
Let's do reject. Um,
Okay.
let's see. Okay.
I think this is about a guy who works at a factory that makes uh, like some sort of processed food, and he takes all the rejects and starts bringing them to homeless shelters, and then of course the company gets wind of this and sues his ass, and then it's about the court case, kind of Aaron Brockovich style, but and in the end he loses. He loses. It's like Patch
Oh,
Adams. It's like someone died, and
no.
it's sad, and it's just like,
Oh,
oh wow, he really shouldn't have been doing that because it turns out the food was not healthy,
right.
and a bunch of people now have like, I was gonna say ovarian cysts, which is very unfortunate.
That's so specific.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
But yeah, that's
okay.
Reject,
All right.
a film by
Uh,
Tristan Miller.
I think um I think this is a sort of a concept film, kind of like how it's sort of like Gravity. You know,
Mm.
Gravity, she's like stuck in space. Well, what
Is
if,
that what that movie's about?
yeah, she's stuck in space.
Yeah, but then
And
why wouldn't they call it Space? This is
well,
my best Neil deGrasse Tyson impression.
you're asking me. Um, and but this one is about a guy who is flying like a supersonic jet, like a Top Gunny type of jet, you know.
Hmm.
Uh, and something goes wrong, and he's got to eject. And guess what? His ejector doesn't work. The rest of the movie is him stuck in this plane that is running out of gas that can't land for some reason because the landing fucking wheels fell off or whatever. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
something. He can't land the plane. They can't eject from the plane. What's he gonna do? It's a film about the triumph of the human spirit, about never giving up even when things seem like they're at their darkest, and falling in love was never part of the plan.
So does he fall in love with the person like talking him through the whole thing? And
Yes,
at the
yes, he's
end
on
they
the
meet.
radio, and at the end, he's like, "And I gotta see where's Charlie?" And they're like, "Charlie, Charlie's
They've
been
been
dead for
dead for
30
years.
years." Twist, yeah, smash the black.
Louis Armstrong's It's a Wonderful.
It's a wonderful world. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to end on that? Do you want to do one more?
Oh, I'm down for one more. Or that was a
Okay.
pretty good one. Could
Yeah.
end on a high note.
It,
I
yeah.
like to end once the joke is done.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's end. Let's
Okay.
not bite more than
Yeah.
off. But
Yeah.
this has been absolutely wonderful. An absolute
Yeah.
pleasure. You're a legend for doing this.
No problem.
Um,
This was super fun. Thank you for having me.
thank you. Where can people find you? What do you want to tell people that listen to this
Ugh.
podcast specifically?
Um, hey everybody, it's me, Miles. That's
Again,
it. That's
going.
all I wanted. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'm on I don't know, Twitter, I guess. I'm on
Yeah.
Twitter at Miles with a Y spelled out. So MYLESWITHAY. Miles with a Y.
Miles with a
Or
Y.
just Google Miles Hewette. I got stuff going on. There's things. I think
I got stuff going
you
on.
know, there's
Yeah.
stuff. I think Yes Chef has a show coming up we're doing. So look
Fun,
for
fun,
Yes
fun.
Chef comedy, sketch comedy. That's happening probably in the next couple months or
Now,
whatever. Yeah.
I have a question about Yes Chef because that's the name of
Sure.
your sketch team, right?
Yes.
Were
Yes.
you were you upset or bolstered by the popularity of that phrase now due to the show The
Oh, because of the
Bear?
bear.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I watched the bear
You're
and
fine with it.
it never occurred to me. I never put two and two together until right this
Oh,
second. But oh yeah, I guess that's
yeah.
true.
A
They do
lot
say
of
Yes
people are
Chef a
saying it
lot.
now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I used to work in a restaurant, and
Hmm.
so like I know about saying yes, chef. It's a phrase people use in kitchens to say yes to the chef. Like
I know about Yes Chef.
yeah, is that not a commonly known thing? I don't know.
Yeah. No, thank you very much for doing
No,
this. I'm now
hey,
gonna stop
no
recording.
problem. Okay, bye.
Bye.